Good morning, everybody. It's David coming at you from Zone 5B in the southwest suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. If you watched my video from yesterday, you know that we are in the middle of a heat wave here in Illinois, northern Illinois, for the first time this summer. We're having 3 or 4 days of 90 plus degree temperatures. So I did go outside this morning. I did a couple of garden tasks that I needed to do. I hand watered some of my buckets that aren't on the irrigation system, did some very light pruning of some overgrown tomatoes, clipped them up. But other than that, I'm not going to do much outside because while the plants, especially tomatoes and peppers, do like warm temperatures, and all plants need sun, or most of the plants need sun, too much sun, and the high intensity sun can actually put a lot of stress on the plants. So yesterday I talked about protecting your plants again with shade cloth. A couple weeks ago, I talked about protecting them using a product called Kaolin Clay, but today I wanted to come to you with a shorter video on getting started gardening. When I started gardening, I didn't really know anything about gardening. I kind of jumped in a little bit blindfolded, so I would just go to my local big box store, whether that's Ace Hardware or Home Depot or Menards or Lowe's, and I would pick up a pack of seeds from the shelf. Because to me, a cucumber was a cucumber. You know, you go to the grocery store, you might have 1 or 2 different varieties of cucumbers to choose from, but that's pretty much it. So for me, the packet of cucumber seeds that I bought from the big box store was the only kind of cucumber seeds that I could buy. That was about the limit of my knowledge. Then as I got more and more into gardening, I discovered that that's not true at all. There are really hundreds, if not thousands, of varieties of cucumbers and peppers and tomatoes. There are at least 4 or 5 varieties of okra. There are numerous varieties of almost everything you're going to grow in the garden. And each variety has its own pluses and minuses, its own growing habit, its own preferences, its own disease and pest resistance. And if you want those seeds, it's a lot harder to just go to the big box store because the supply is so limited. So what is a grower to do? You can go on Amazon and you can search for whatever seed you're looking for. But honestly, with Amazon, you're kind of taking it into your own hands there. I've ordered some seeds from Amazon that I couldn't find anywhere else. I got some unknown seeds in a little clear zip top baggie that I don't even know if it's what I wanted because it wasn't properly packaged. It wasn't properly labeled. It had a little number on it that told me it was what I wanted. And more times than not, I didn't have any luck with those seeds. So I wanted to discuss some of the reputable seed places that I've purchased through. These are ones that either I was familiar with because some of them do have products out on the store shelves that you can buy pretty much anywhere. And other ones I heard about on other YouTube videos for the people that I trusted to teach me as I was coming up. So end of summer, midsummer is a great time to restock on seeds because a lot of these vendors have sales or specials. And that's what I did over the last couple of weeks. I saw some of these specials. I knew there were other varieties that I wanted to try to grow either later this year if possible or into next year. And I went ahead and placed orders with 3 of the bigger companies that I use, and I'm going to share those companies with you guys. Garden seeds should last for more than 1 season. They should last for several seasons as long as you keep them dry and you store them in a temperature controlled environment. For me, the way I choose to store my seeds is in a seed binder, and I have about, well now, over 150 seed packages in here from all different kinds of vendors. In order to keep track of all these, I just found a really good app called Seed Sort. You can go to the website at seedsort.app. It allows you to type in and track and log every single pack of seeds that you have. And for me, I did it by vegetable, then I did it by variety, and I even included the vendor. So I would know exactly what I had. If I go to the store, it's available on my phone, so I don't go and rebuy 10 packs of the exact same kind of tomato seeds. For me, that's really huge because I've done that before. I don't know if you're like me, though. So the 3 that I'm going to mention, the 3 companies that I'm going to mention today, ironically, I'll start with the letter B. And I'll start with probably the one that you may already know because it is available in every store that I've looked, and that's going to be Burpee. I've used Burpee a lot. I mentioned them in my video yesterday because I actually, along with the seeds that I ordered some bare root strawberries that came, and they were looking amazing. So I was really, really, really happy with the bare root strawberries that I got from Burpee. I've always gotten good service from Burpee. My only hang up with Burpee is this. This is a pack of Burpee seeds that I went and I bought from my local big box store, right? Got a pretty picture on there. On the back side, it's got all the growing information, which is pretty standard for seed packages. These are the packages that I got when I ordered off their website. And you'll see it's just a lot more plain of a package. It's still got all the information that I need. It doesn't have a picture. It doesn't have graphics. And maybe that doesn't matter to you. To me, it matters a little only because I don't feel like these seeds are any lower in price, despite the fact that they have the plain packaging. For me, mainly because I have a bad memory, it's really important that there is a picture on there. So when I go and try to grow my Honey Plus hybrid variety of cucumbers, the picture reminds me that it's a yellow cucumber. It never turns green. It is yellow. It's a sweeter cucumber, but the picture can help. So maybe it doesn't matter so much to you. But again, with these, I just feel like if you're going to do the plain packaging, that they'd probably be a little bit cheaper than other places. But other than that, you can see I ordered a ton of items from Burpees this time. I have been really, really happy with their product in the past. And these two are the exact same thing. So I do like the Burpless Beauty, and this is the one that I bought from the store. So one other thing that I'd like everybody to know about seeds, because I didn't realize this until pretty recently, not all seeds are created equal. And I don't mean quality-wise. I mean in amount. So this packet of seeds may be $5, and it clearly says there are 70 seeds in this package, but the broccoli is about the same price, and there are actually 100 seeds in this package. But the Sun Gold tomato only has 30 seeds. So that's something you may not be aware of if you're buying your seeds from the big box store, that you may go to the dollar store and find 4 for $1 packs of seeds, and those seeds are perfectly fine. There may not be as many in there as that $4 pack that you're going to get from Burpees or these other vendors or the big box stores. There are some varieties of hybrid plants that are more disease resistant, that are more pest resistant, that are more cold hardy or heat tolerant, that are going to cost you more. So there are some cucumber and tomato hybrid seeds that cost you $1 plus a seed and more. So if you're looking to grow a particular type of cucumber, don't be surprised if it costs more, especially for the hybrids. So what does hybrid mean? Hybrid means they've worked on it to make it more resistant or more cold hardy or more tolerant or more productive. But what that also means is those are plants that you can't really save seeds for the next year on. If you're growing an heirloom plant or an open pollinated plant, you can take the seeds from the fruit this year, from the cucumber that you really loved, or the tomato, or the ground cherry, or whatever you're growing, and you can dry them and save them, and you can plant them next year. With heirloom and open pollinated varieties, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the same variety, the same quality, unless there's some cross-pollination, but that's a whole other issue. With the hybrids, you can't do that because it's not a consistent thing because of the hybrid nature of those seeds. So the second company that I went and ordered from, and this is one that I've ordered from quite a few times, is a place called Baker Creek. Baker Creek specializes in heirloom seeds. I have a lot of Baker Creek heirloom seeds. So it might be a good option for you, especially if you're looking for heirlooms and not hybrids that are going to have that resistance or that are going to grow better for you. Sorry about that. Had to let the dog out. So with Baker Creek, you see This, just like the store version of the burpee seeds, has a beautiful picture that shows you what you're growing. I love that picture. It's a reminder to me. It lets me know what I'm supposed to have at the end. And on the back, like most companies, they have all the packaging information, including lot number, when it was packaged, how to grow it. So you're going to see that on most of the commercial seeds that you grow. They're going to have growing instructions. And that's one of the things that's often missing when you buy from Amazon and you get a vendor who's not a commercial vendor. You may not get growing instructions. Or if you do, they might be typed out on a piece of paper. And again, I just feel more secure when I get a sealed package that's labeled with all the proper information, knowing that I got what I'm asking for. Now, one of the pluses with Baker Creek and also with the last vendor that I'm going to mention is when you place an order, and I believe it's only orders of a certain amount, they send you free seed. So you see, this was my free seed packet. It's the Danvers half-long carrots. It's kind of neat. You get free seeds when you place a purchase. The only downside to that is you don't get to choose the variety. So you may get something that you don't want to grow. On the other hand, you may get something that you've never considered growing, and now you have an opportunity to grow it, to give it a try. So that's kind of a neat feature. Definitely not a reason alone that I would use these companies, but it is a nice little perk. So Baker Creek, I've had a lot of really good luck from as well. These are a little bit harder to find in stores, at least by me, but their website is rareseeds.com. So I've had a lot of luck ordering from their website. And the third and final one that I'm going to talk about today, and this is by no means an all-inclusive list. I've ordered from numerous vendors, including Harris Seeds, Livingston, which is one of the store brands that I bought, American Seed, which I think I got from the dollar store. And there are dozens, if not hundreds, of reputable seed vendors that you can find. If you Google it, there might be some near you, so you could go directly to their store. And the good thing is most of these companies will let you request a free catalog. I have a huge stack of catalogs from all the different vendors upstairs. So don't feel like these three are the only ones that you can use. These are just ones that I've had a lot of success with. So again, this isn't in any way demeaning to the other companies. Back to the roots, Livingston, American Seed, Territorial Seeds, Johnny Selected Seeds. They are all really good vendors too. I just haven't had a ton of experience with those yet. So the third one that I wanted to talk about is probably one of the more unique ones. And it's a company called Botanical Interests. If you watch Epic Gardening on YouTube, Kevin is actually one of the owners of Botanical Interests. And if you search his videos, you will see he did a really good instructional video where he went to the Botanical Interests factory. And he got a tour of the factory. He talked about how they do their seeds. He talked about some of the more rare seeds that are the more expensive ones. And that's when he announced that he actually bought ownership in Botanical Interests. So check that video out if you're interested in Botanical Interests. The thing about Botanical Interest seeds, I mentioned I do like to have the picture on the front. Botanical Interests takes that picture and kind of jacks it up to 10. And they go with custom artwork for all of their seeds. You buy a pack of the seeds and it has this beautiful artwork, which is just a kind of a nice touch. Again, maybe it's not your thing. Maybe it doesn't matter to you that they have this artwork on there. But for me, I thought that was kind of cool. And again, I wouldn't order from them just because of the artwork. But when you order from them, I think it's kind of nice. These are something that I'd be proud to display. You might want to keep the seed packs once you use all the seeds. And you could frame these and hang them on the wall because they're just absolutely beautiful pieces of artwork. On the back side, we have that same information that you're going to see on all of them, which is the planting information, how deeply to sow them, time of year, and then they actually have information on the inside flaps with recipes and preservation and storage, which I didn't know until I saw that video from Epic Gardening. So thank you, Kevin, from Epic Gardening for that. That was super informative. I don't usually look on the inside of my seed packets. So kind of an extra plus with botanical interests. Now, the thing with botanical interests is you may find these in a store near you. Then again, you may not. I don't think I've ever seen them in the big box stores, but if you're from northern Illinois in the Chicago suburbs like I am, there's a home and garden store in Downers Grove called Wanamaker's, and I will post a link to their website in the description here. That is the most amazing home and garden store I've ever been to. They have a very large selection of the botanical interest seeds in store. So you can see the artwork and you can see some of the varieties. If not, you can get them from the Botanical Interest website, or I believe through the Epic Gardening website as well. So with botanical interests, I also ordered a bunch, and just like Baker Creek, they threw in a pack of free seeds. This was the lettuce mix. So again, maybe it's something you're not going to be interested in growing. Maybe it's something you've never considered growing. But then you can give the seeds away if you don't want to grow them. Or you can try something that maybe you never thought of before. You don't get any kind of a selection. But I don't think I've ever been disappointed. I think I've always gotten either a lettuce mix or carrots. Or I think one year I actually got the blue spice basil, which I ordered again this time from one of these companies, because I did like it so much with my free seeds that I got with a previous order. In addition to the packet of free seeds, Botanical Interests sent a pamphlet all about seed starting and seed care, which was really kind of nice, just a little extra perk. And I got a little free sample of an herbal pain relief salve that they sent. So again, not that the perks are a reason alone to order from the companies, but I've had really, really good success with the products that I bought from them as well. So again, the three companies that I talked about today are Burpees, Botanical Interests, and Baker Creek. These are just three of the very, very reputable seed dealers that you can find. Again, Google it. Search vegetable or garden seeds or flower seeds near me. Look at the companies, check out the websites. If they have a free catalog, request the free catalog, because the varieties that they carry are going to vary from vendor to vendor as well. You might be able to find bait alpha cucumbers at every one of them, but then Baker Creek might have a variety that the others don't. One other little caveat when it comes to seeds like carrot seeds, seeds can be really, really small, and it tends to be stuff like carrots and beets and lettuces. Broccoli seeds are pretty small. And when you sow them, a lot of times you need to come back and you need to thin it out because the seeds are so small. So it's hard to precisely drop those in. Well, one of the options that you have from several of the vendors, and I think Johnny Selected Seeds is one of them, and Livingston is definitely another, would be to get pelletized seeds. So these are my carrot seeds, and instead of having just a little tiny naked bare seed, you get seeds that are covered with a little clay coating. So this just makes it a little easier, especially if you happen to have arthritis or any stiffness in your fingers, for us older people, or you just don't want to come back and have to do a lot of thinning out. Pelletized seeds is another great option for you. And again, there's several vendors that carry that. So just an option if you're a little more limited in your finger mobility. So I hope you guys get a lot out of this video. I hope maybe it eases some of the transitional pain for new gardeners that I went through my first year of gardening. Just wanted you to know that you're not limited to what you see at the big box store or the department store or the grocery store. You're not limited to the limited varieties you see or the brands that you see. There are a lot of really, really good companies. If you know somebody that I didn't mention, feel free to mention it down in the comments. I'm always happy to try out new vendors. I do have a stack of catalogs about that thick because last winter when I was going through my gardening withdrawals, I went to all of these seed company websites and ordered free catalogs. So I have a ton of them upstairs. Harris, Gurney, Territorial seeds are all included in there. Right? Sorry about that. I apparently ran out of time on that recording, so this is already going longer than I thought. So, Harris, Gurney, Territorial Seeds, Johnny Selected Seeds, they all sent catalogs. I have those all upstairs, and when I'm looking for a new idea, a new variety, I'm looking for something different that I haven't grown before, I'll look through all those catalogs. So, don't restrict yourself by only going with burpee because that's what you see at the store, or only going with botanical interests because you heard about it on this channel or that channel. Try them all. The varieties are amazing. You'll learn a lot about seeds. You'll learn about the different tomato varieties. You'll learn about the different um, fertilization needed for cucumbers. There are cucumbers called parthenocarpic. That is a really big word. That are perfect flowers that don't need pollinators or may not need pollinators. Apparently, it's not 100% success rate, but if you're in an area that you don't get a ton of bees and you don't get a lot of insect activity, or you're growing in a greenhouse, that's an option for you. You'll learn about the, I think, 4 different types of okra that I learned about this year, the dozens of different kinds of lettuces, and when I was growing up, it was iceberg or romaine. I think we had romaine. We never ate it at my house, though. So there's a lot to learn. Don't feel overwhelmed. Um, trust your resources. I mentioned yesterday, asking on Facebook in a support group isn't always the best idea because you're going to get inundated with so many different answers, and a lot of times they're conflicting answers. So I tend to use Google and YouTube a lot. I go to the YouTube channels that I trust a lot, that I've really grown up with, and I hope to be that channel for some of you guys. So again, the vendors I mentioned today, Burpee, Baker Creek, and Botanical Interests are great seed vendors that I've had experience with, that I just ordered from and just got seeds from in the last week, but don't feel like they're the only ones that you can use. If you could look through, if we had time to look through all 150 varieties, you would see so many different vendors in here, from dollar stores to big box store purchases to online purchase seeds. They're all in here. So I don't discriminate when it comes to gardening and gardening seeds. I haven't had really bad experiences except with those kind of mysterious random seeds that I bought off of Amazon that turned out to be not reputable commercial sellers. But again, if you've had a bad experience, share that in the comments below as well. I hope you like the content. On Sundays, I may continue to do this the next few weeks to tell you some of the products that I've used, stuff that I've learned. Maybe next week I'll do a video on seed starting soils and the ones that I've found I've had the most success with, or that I like the best, just to kind of make it easier for beginning gardeners. So thank you for coming to the channel. I hope you made it through the end of the video. If you didn't see my video from yesterday on shade cloth for the garden and the uses of shade cloth, I will try to post a link to it here, but I'm new to this, so I may not be able to do that. And if you saw my video from a couple of weeks ago about kale and clay, which is another great way to protect your plants from heat and pests and bugs, I'll try to post the link up here. If not, I will have the information down below, or you can find it on my YouTube channel. Again, thank you for watching. If you can, if you like my content, please be sure to hit that like button. It helps get my videos out there, get my channel out there to more people. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I post my next videos, because I know you'd hate to miss it. And please share my content. I would love to reach more people. I would love to be able to share my lessons, my beginning problems with the people who might have an interest in gardening and don't know where to start. Thank you guys again. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you get out and enjoy the weather. I hope you get your hands in the dirt at some point and plant something or harvest something. Enjoy nature. And I hope you guys return here again real soon to Come Grow with David A. Stay cool. I'll see you guys next week.